I still remember that Sunday afternoon, the smell of freshly brewed tea, the sunlight spilling through the curtains, and the heavy silence that followed my daughter-in-law's words. "Maybe you should stop interfering in our house, Father," she said, her tone sharp as a knife. Our house. That phrase struck me harder than anything else, because the "our" she was talking about was my house, the one I had worked 45 years to pay for, brick by brick. My name's Edward Grant, 72 years old, retired railway engineer, widower, and, at least I thought, a respected father. But that day, sitting in my favorite armchair while my son's wife looked down at me with irritation, I felt like an unwanted guest in my own home. It started subtly after my son, Michael, got married to her, Vanessa. She was young, beautiful, and had that modern air about her. She smiled sweetly in front of people, but, behind closed doors, her tone changed. "Oh, Mr. Grant, you forgot to turn off the TV again." "Oh, Mr. Grant, could you please not leave your shoes near the door?" At first, I ignored it. She was new, adjusting to family life, but over the months her politeness vanished, replaced by something colder. Michael, my son, was too busy with work to notice. Every evening I waited for him just to have dinner together like we used to. But Vanessa always had some excuse. "He's tired, Father. Let him rest," she'd say with that fake smile. One evening I overheard her whispering, "We could use that space for a home office once your dad moves out." Moves out? I stayed quiet, but that night I couldn't sleep. It happened one Sunday, the day I mentioned. My old friend, Peter, had dropped by to see me. We laughed, shared stories from our railway days, and enjoyed a cup of tea in the living room. Vanessa came in, arms crossed. "Father, I told you not to bring guests without letting us know first." "The living room is for family." Peter looked embarrassed. I apologized to him and said, "It's fine, Peter. We'll go sit in the garden." But before we could move, she added under her breath, "Honestly, old people have no sense of boundaries these days." Peter froze. I froze. I saw the smirk on her face, small, victorious, cruel. That was the moment something inside me changed. That night, I sat at my desk, staring at the family photo on the shelf. Me, my late wife Margaret, and young Michael smiling with his missing front tooth. I missed her more than ever. She would have known how to handle this. I decided it was time to remind my daughter-in-law what respect meant. You see, when I retired, I didn't hand the house over to my son. I had simply let them live here. Everything, from the deed to the land, was still in my name. But they didn't know that. The next morning, I called my lawyer, Mr. Hughes, and asked him to pay me a visit. That afternoon, as Vanessa sat scrolling through her phone and Michael watched TV, I called them both to the living room. "I've made a decision," I said calmly. Vanessa didn't even look up. "Oh? What is it this time, Father?" I smiled. "You'll see." Just then, Mr. Hughes walked in, holding a folder. "Good afternoon, Mr. Grant." "I have the new tenancy agreement ready," he said. Vanessa's head snapped up. "Tenancy agreement?" "Yes," I replied. "Since you both are living here, it's time to make things official. You'll be paying a small rent starting next month." Her jaw dropped. "You can't be serious. This is our house." Mr. Hughes cleared his throat. "Actually, Mrs. Grant, this property legally belongs to Mr. Edward Grant. He never transferred ownership." Michael looked shocked. "Dad, I thought—" "You thought wrong, son," I said softly. "I let you stay here because I trusted you." "But trust," I glanced at Vanessa, "isn't something I give away for free anymore." Vanessa's face turned pale. "You can't make us pay rent." "Oh, I could," I replied, leaning back. "But that's not all. I've also decided to downsize. The house is too big for me now. I'll be selling it next month." Her eyes widened. "You're selling it? But where will we go?" "Don't worry," I said with a faint smile. "You'll have 30 days to figure that out." For the first time since she married my son, Vanessa was speechless. Tears welled up in her eyes. That evening, Michael came to my room. His voice was low, ashamed. "Dad, I'm so sorry. I didn't know she treated you that way. I should have noticed. I smiled and patted his shoulder. You're my son. I don't blame you. But remember this. Never let love blind you to respect. He nodded, tears glistening in his eyes. As for Vanessa, she avoided me completely. For days, she walked around the house quietly, her usual sharp tone gone. Then, one morning, she knocked softly on my door. "Father," she said, her voice trembling. I'm sorry. I was wrong." For a long moment, I didn't respond. Then I looked at her and said, "Do you mean that, or are you just afraid of losing the house?" Tears rolled down her cheeks. "No, I mean it. I forgot what this house stands for. You built it with love, and I disrespected that. I'm truly sorry." I studied her face. For the first time, her eyes weren't filled with pride or irritation. They were full of regret. I sighed. "Then prove it." "Respect isn't in words, Vanessa. It's in how you treat people, especially the ones who gave you a roof to live under." She nodded, crying quietly. Weeks later, I decided not to sell the house. Michael insisted they pay rent anyway, and to my surprise, Vanessa agreed. She began treating me differently, serving tea before I asked, listening when I spoke, even joining me in the garden some evenings. One day she placed a photo frame on the table, a picture of the three of us smiling. "Families should never fall apart," she said softly. I smiled. Maybe people can change after all. Still, I never forgot that Sunday afternoon, because it taught me something important. Respect isn't something you demand. It's something you earn by standing up for yourself when others forget your worth. And as I sit now in that same armchair, sipping my tea, I can't help but smile. The house feels peaceful again. And so do I. Moral: never let anyone make you feel small in a place you built with your own hands. Respect begins where silence ends.